divine spiritual light. Prophecy manifested the plight. Woe to them for how they plot day and night. Prophetic, washing the blood. Don't trip, I ain't talking about Jesus. Back it up with the scripts. I give you 50 reasons why I keep it cheap. If you ain't shahada, you ain't gon' be around me. If you ain't banging the Torah, I ain't keeping company. If you ain't following the Quran, keep it moving, young. Holy Mysterio, call Shema, and then we call you down. Supreme Holy Commission, divine fellowship, washed in the blood of the Lamb, divine testimony. It was compensatory. Yahweh had it from me. I got access. New cup, new cup. Hand the new cup, new cup, new cup. So it was reported by Ibn Masud that the messenger of Yahweh Allah said, اقتربت الساعة ولا تزداد منهم إلا بعدا. The hour is approaching people, yet it does not increase, but in the distance from their minds. This is the attitude and the ethos of the time frame that we're living in. All of our scholars have denied to us that this is the time frame that we have been told of and that we have been warned about in prophecy. But the hadith says this: "Alamawuhum sharu min taqta adimi as-sama'i min indihim takruju al-fitnatu wa fihim ta'udu." So he says that our learned men would be the worst people under heaven. Alamawuhum sharu. Okay, and that's coming from the verb shara, to do evil or to be ill-natured. Okay, to defame, to be evil, to be bad, to be vicious. So it's going to be our learned men who will be the vicious ones amongst us. The worst under heaven, he says. And he says that from him will be produced and come out fitna, seduction from faith, misleading, the sowing of dissension or difference of opinion, mischief, the putting into confusion, punishment, leading him to temptation, and hardship, punishment, trial. It's going to be coming from our learned men, our scholars, our teachers. But he also says this, وَفِيهِمْ تَعُودُ, but it shall also be returned to them. They will lose power in this age and in the time to come. Because all of their wiles and their schemes and their selfishness and their greed and the fact that they actually oppose Yahweh Allah and they oppose the Mahdi, the chosen Messiah for this age, and they've worked against him with their wicked and poisonous teachings. Now we understand what time frame that we're living in. These are the social phenomenons that will be thematic and that would take center stage in the time that has been foretold. We are in that time today. And we see clearly that it has happened just the way the prophecy described it. In these end times, men have come forth who fraudulently use religion for worldly ends and wear sheepskins in public to display meekness. Their efforts will be directed towards their stomachs. Their faith will be money, and their qibla will be their wives. They will be discontent with little and unsatisfied with much. He says the people will ask about their religious needs, and they will issue fatwas in the light of their own ideas and desires, ignoring the Quran and the Hadith, and both deviating themselves and leading others into deviation. And this is indeed what has taken place. And he says all that will be left when this knowledge is lifted from this community will be an ignorant body of people. He says my community will be destroyed because of evil scholars and ignorant servants. Such a time will come that scholars will be an element of mischief. And we are living in that time today. The prophet also said that such a time would befall my community that rulers would be oppressive. That's happening now. And scholars will be avaricious and without the fear of Yahweh Allah, meaning that they will not be those who hate evil, and their worship will be the worship of hypocrites. Imam Rabbani said that listening to the words or reading the books of religious scholars who follow their own worldly interests is as harmful as eating poison. The harm done by evil religious scholars is contagious. They damage communities and split nations asunder. It was the evil religious scholars who were always responsible for the disasters that befell the Islamic states. They caused the heads of the state to deviate from the true path. He also mentions in that same hadith that the heretical leaders are all evil scholars. And he says that my community will be destroyed because of evil scholars and ignorant servants. Such a time will come that scholars will be an element of mischief. And so we also find in the hadith that seeking knowledge from spiritually little people with understanding of bid'ah, innovation, is one of the signs of the last day. This is what we see happening in the Ummah, in Christianity, in Judaism, in Islam, in Buddhism, in all the religions of the world. We see a deviation from the divine purpose and from the original message that was revealed to mankind in every generation of time on this earth. And so we're going to see people seeking knowledge from these deviated scholars. This is a sign of the time. The hadith tells us that seeking knowledge from spiritually little people with the understanding of bid'ah and innovation is one of the signs of the last day. And this is in keeping with what we find in the hadith that was narrated by Abu Huraira. He says, Sayati ala anasi sanawat kadawat yusadiku fiha al-kadibu wa yukadibu fiha al-sadiku. There will come to the people years of treachery where the liar will be regarded as honest and the honest man will be called and regarded as a liar. Okay? And the one who is a liar who fabricates and disappoints the expectation of people with his lies and creates and invents tales, he is going to be the one that is endorsed and that is praised and confirmed amongst the people. And they will be friendly with him. And he says, why yukadibu fiha el sadiku, and the one who is honest and sincere, truthful, he's going to be called a liar. Why yutaminu fiha el kainu. And so in this time frame of the Antichrist, people will trust and believe in the rat, the traitor, the treacherous one, the mole, the one who cheats, the violator, the betrayer of trust. And it says, why yukawanu fiha el aminu. And so they will trust these people, and these people will sell them out and play false to them and be faithless and disloyal to them. وَيَنْتِقُ فِيهَا الرُّوَيْبِدَاتُ كِيلَ وَمَا رُوَيْبِدَاتُ قَالَ الرَّجُلُ التَّفِّهُ فِي أَمْرِ الْأُمَّةِ. And he said, in it, the Ruwaybida will have a say. Okay? And they said, well, what is a Ruwaybida? And this is the little pitiful, trivial, wasted, trifling, silly, insignificant, mean, stingy person with no serious purpose or value who will be leading the orders and affairs of the community. He will have authority over the business of the common man and over people. So he has described for us our current phenomenon. This is our social phenomenon at the current time, living at the time of the Antichrist. We see all the signs have manifested themselves. Inshallah, those are things that need to be recovered because we're sitting here looking at the prophecies face to face. The prophecy has got arms, legs, head, and it's walking and moving and acting while the hypocrites and the unbelievers continue to deny. So this is why when the Mahdi returns, nobody recognizes him. This is why when the Messiah returns, nobody is practicing the proper religion and nobody has an ear to hear the truth because they have been following those people who are unworthy of trust and they have been betrayed. Okay. Remember that ignorance is also what? One of the signs of the hour. So we understand that when Imam Mahdi appears, only the scholars of religious law will be inimical towards him. They're the ones that are going to be antagonistic and destructive towards the teaching, preaching, message, and mission of the Mahdi. And where is everybody at? Sitting in their congregations, listening to their poison, listening to the enemies of the Mahdi, those who imitate the scholars of Ijtihad, and who make legal decisions by independent interpretation of Islamic sources. And they will be displeased when they see Hazrat Mahdi pronounced in opposition to the imams of their sects, but they must submit to his rule willingly or unwillingly. Yes, Imam Mahdi, the Messiah's declared enemies, will be the scholars of fiqh, religious law, and they will have no esteem in the public eye. And he will overcome the scholars' disputes regarding their pronouncements. Yahweh Allah will purify the Mahdi with his munificence, and in his time the religion will be completely purged of all subsequent accretions and restored to its original form. So we understand that what we have today is nothing but a trace and a name. Okay? He will oppose the ulama of the schools in his many pronouncements. For that reason, they will keep away from him. According to their presumptions, they will accept that Allah truly did not have a renovator, a mujadid, after the imams. So this is what their internal problem is. Okay? And it is from the basis of this reality that they have deceived the ummah. They have deceived the believers. We understand that these falsehood mongers that everybody is listening to and following and endorsing and supporting, they will hate the Mahdi in their hearts. But they still willingly or unwillingly must accept his pronouncements. And this is the phenomenon of our time happening right now. It is because of these leaders that when the Qa'im arises, he will experience as a result of the ignorance of the people worse than what the apostle of Allah experienced at the hands of the ignorant people of his time. Because the apostle of Allah came to a people who worship stones and wood, but the Qa'im will come to people who will interpret the book of Allah against him because of this false teaching. Okay? And they will bring forward false proofs against the Qa'im from the books. And when the flag of the Qa'im is raised, the people of both East and West will curse it. But the Qa'im will arise, rule with justice and remove injustice. He will unite the hearts of believers in love. And he will rule and judge among the people with the judgment of David and of Muhammad. Hip hop, click to the pop, I drop legit gifts every time I spit. Stand and deliver, propagate and transmit. I must admit, just to exist is a conflict. Beats like governments never resist. Antichrist paradigm shift. Anarchy, nothing legit. Find in the pit. World phenomenon. Push the common man straight to the grid. 24/7, this what we dealing with.